that would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Howdy.
Well, good morning. How's you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, you know, lots changed in the last 2 minutes since I saw you last.
Well, I know. We were in a different place.
Hold on.
It's a lot brighter in here, too.
Really? Well, the lights are like closer.
Yeah.
In the big studio, that's like bigger ceiling. These things are like right on you.
How about it?
Well,
We're trading spaces here on 9 News Now on WAFB Plus. Thank you for joining us here on a Monday morning at 7 o'clock.
I used to love that show.
I know.
Well, do you love this show? I don't know. On a Monday morning, it's a lot at any time, right? So, but this is what we're going to do for you. Kind of continued letting you know what's going on in the world of weather. I mean, you can see outside right now. Look, coming off a great Saturday, not a bad Sunday at all. Sun's up over South Louisiana. It actually looks like it's going to be a pretty good day here.
How about we check in with Dr. Steve Caparata? Steve, a comfortably cool start to our Monday. We love that.
Yeah, enjoying this last little bit of cool weather because as we've been saying through the morning, May gets underway a week from now, so you know the real warm stuff has got to be right around the corner, but not bad this morning. Sun coming up. You can see some clouds, but certainly some pretty significant breaks, and temperatures are in the 50s for most of us, as cool as an even 50 in Macomb. Hammond, New Roads 53, Baton Rouge right now 54, Gonzales starting out at 57 degrees. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds today, and temperatures will see only kind of a slow warm up, mid 60s at noon, highs topping out in the low 70s. A few spotty showers not out of the question. We've seen a few through the overnight and early this morning south of I-10, but I think most of you are going to stay dry. Here's a look at future radar showing some of those light showers we've seen so far this morning at 9 o'clock. Hints one or two of those around. Pausing again at noon. Again, hints of a light shower, maybe a sprinkle. Otherwise, some clouds and temperatures in the mid 60s on into the afternoon. Low 70s by 3 o'clock with that slight chance of a shower continuing. By this evening, we should be mainly dry and maybe seeing those clouds break up a little bit. Now, jumping ahead by Wednesday, we've got some rain potentially moving in and at least a low-end threat of severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has now posted a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe weather, basically Baton Rouge westward on Wednesday, so we will keep an eye on that. Let's give you a look at the graph model for Wednesday. So in the morning, it shows a couple of showers around. That's 7 a.m. Wednesday, and through the morning kind of has a scattering of showers. That's noon. We advance it into the afternoon, scattered showers, and a few storms continue. The previous around this model, actually, I think it did a little better job of maybe showing what I think potentially could happen. That'd be a little disturbance rotating in from the northwest that could help some storms fire. I do expect things to settle down into the evening. So certainly not a slam dunk widespread severe weather event, but a few strong storms not out of the question. Rain amounts overall, though, through the upcoming week look to be modest. This takes us through Saturday morning. The Weather Prediction Center showing, generally speaking, on average, rain totals coming in under an inch. So even though we've got some decent rain chances through the mid part of the week, right now it doesn't look like anything too major for most of us. Today and tomorrow, only slight rain chances. 73 for a high today, but we're up to 81 tomorrow. And then I've got rain chances around 50% Wednesday and Thursday. By Friday, back to mainly dry weather. We'll keep an eye on Saturday. Model guidance bouncing around a little bit. It does look like we might have another cold front moving in with maybe a slight chance of showers. And then as that front moves through, the weekend a little bit cooler again, highs mid to upper 70s, and there it is next Monday. That'll be the first day of May, starting out nice. It looks like in May, mostly sunny, a high of 82, and it looks like low 80s right on through the first half of next week. It's 7:06 with the check on the roads for you. Here's Johnny Asian.
Earlier this morning, bumper-to-bumper traffic out in the Gonzales area. Going to take you right on down there. I'm going to double check on that. Looking pretty good this morning. It was just completely solid red between Dutchtown and Geismar all the way to River Road on Highway 73. Right now, the slowest traffic on 73 is where we would expect it, right in front of the schools this morning. Have Dutchtown Primary and Dutchtown High School right in that area as well. Out to Denham Springs, slow traffic right as you approach Pete's Highway, crossing the overpass there at Range, and then right past the Amy Scenic River Bridge. We can see that slow traffic right here, the range camera. Here's the 4-H Club road camera. Got a beautiful sunrise this morning, and it's cool. So crack that window and drive in. You drive in pretty good once you get into EBR. And the bridge traffic is on again, off again, slow on the westbound side. Eastbound coming in from Port Allen. That looks pretty good this morning. All of our drive times are starting to slow down just a little bit. 20 minutes now from Juban to the 1012 on I-12 westbound. Monday morning, 24th of April, starting off with a lot going on. And for more on those new news headlines, let's go back to Matt Williams and let's go.
Johnny, thank you.
Yeah, you talk about a lot going on, Johnny, and depending on what time you went to bed last night, some of those headlines from late last night you might be waking up to this morning. And they ain't some good ones. We're talking about shootings here in Baton Rouge.
Let's digest some of those news alerts you got last night. So let's start here.
Yep.
One person is dead and another is injured on a shooting on Geronimo Street.
Right.
This happening late last night. And so right now at this point, we're still trying to figure out the condition of the victim who is injured. We still don't know the identity of the person who's killed. We don't know a motive or a suspect either.
You know, when we were out there at the scene, it was just a sea of blue lights, obviously. And so when you think about Geronimo Street, it's obviously runs kind of perpendicular to Plank or parallel to Plank and 110, so it was kind of in between there. And so, you know, depending on the time of day, time of night, a lot of folks in and around, but yeah, one dead, one injured, critical, investigation ongoing. And Liz, that's just one shooting investigation from last night.
Let's take you over to LSU's campus where there was a shooting an hour before that. LSU police actually sending out a mass alert to campus students and staff saying that there was a shooting off of Nicholson and West Chime Street. That is the heart of campus if you think about it, where a lot of kids are either getting food, walking home to their dorms, walking to their apartments. So LSU PD investigating this shooting there near campus, and this one actually happened 8:20 p.m. is when that first alert went out to campus, that all call here. This is actually a screenshot of that text message that went out asking people to avoid that area. And so we're still trying to figure out what happened here. But first responder sources tell us one person took themselves to the hospital. We don't know the condition of that person. We've reached out to them to find out exactly the extent of their injuries or whether a student was involved.
So this is obviously where you come in. We talk about the number all the time because it works very, very well here in South Louisiana. Talking about Crime Stoppers, a 344 stop from this shooting here to the one on Geronimo Street. BRPD, LSU PD could probably use a little bit of help going in particular directions. They're obviously looking at everything that they have right now, but maybe they don't have what you have. Make the phone call. 100% anonymous could be eligible for that reward.
Gosh, we also need that number handy for these. So you're looking at these thinking, okay, why am I looking at bikes? These Kawasaki dirt bikes were stolen off a property, I believe Line Creek Road there in the Kentwood area of Tangipahoa Parish. Man.
Look at these things. Okay, so they're going to be hard to miss. Now, I say that knowing that a lot of these are this exact color, this exact style to begin with, so pretty popular bikes. But when you talk about these things are not cheap little toys. So if you know anything about this particular theft, maybe somebody riding around with a new bike that they didn't have
with a number 49 on it,
or a number 4 on it. So it is these things again hard to miss. And just audibly hard to miss. You know exactly, if you're a fan of the bikes, you know exactly what these things sound like. If you've noticed it in your neighborhood, if you've noticed somebody maybe, where do you get that? Right. Make the call.
Please, Crime Stoppers or the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office, either will get your tip to the right people. Whew.
Yeah, so, okay, a lot going on right now up at Session, right? Now, this is another one of these bills that's kind of being floated. One of the first states in the country to really incentivize movies to come in and start doing their business was Louisiana. And actually, a lot of states have kind of followed the Bayou State's lead, right? It's been fairly successful, but will it continue to be successful?
Over the last couple of years, we've seen kind of a dip in production because it's Louisiana. Not necessarily making it harder, but other states are incentivizing their own tax credit program. So how does Louisiana kind of meet these other states and what they're matching? Because obviously Hollywood South has a lot to claim. There's a lot to offer in our part of the world. So lawmakers considering a bill that would incentivize them even more so to kind of match what other states are doing to bring them more, to bring more of that talent, to bring more of those productions to our part of the world.
I remember when Louisiana first did this. another state that was very quick to do it, Georgia. And it was one of those, all right, here we go. It's just going to be who gives more money to make more money, and is the money they're making that much better? And it was head to head. Every state's kind of got a little piece of the pie right now, and Louisiana certainly has, per capita, maybe even one of the bigger pieces out there. So we'll see what they end up doing there in session.
We'll keep our eyes on that one, and then this one too. Could we be paying more to go to, LSU football games, Southern Jag football games? There's a new proposal. One lawmaker saying add on $1 tax to football games. Well, what would it go towards?
Well, this would be going towards something we've been talking about for many, many years now, the passenger rail between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. I think a lot of folks would like to do this, and I think maybe the reason they're tacking it onto a football game is they believe the folks who would maybe be a part of a passenger rail like this would be looking for that entertainment, getting down to New Orleans or back and forth real quick, real easy. And maybe these are the same kind of people who might be going to a football game to take in that entertainment, that value, and maybe wouldn't mind paying. Does it pass? We'll see. It's being talked about the session.
Our Capitol correspondent Chris Rosado keeping his eyes on these measures and a number of other things.
Yeah, so all that's going on. This story from Kelly Hubbard this morning. Homelessness a problem all across the country. Louisiana is certainly not immune. There are folks that are trying to help, though.
So when you talk about Baton Rouge, there are a number of different shelters, great nonprofits working hard to make sure people don't stay out in really cold temperatures or really hot heat. But in Ascension Parish, there is no one declared shelter. So there's a local organization actually working to make sure that people have a place to stay when it is kind of like an inclement weather, or maybe they just want a bed to sleep on, right? So Callie was with a nonprofit organization doing some good work there, trying to help people avoid homelessness here.
So the idea is to try and get people to a spot where they're going to have more resources available, as Liz mentioned. So it's tough, especially when you get into, very difficult for folks when you get into the inclement weather, the hard temperatures, when you talk about cold or hot, that kind of thing. But actually, Dr. Steve, when we talk about it now, look, you don't want folks out and about, certainly, but right now the temperature's a bit moderate in our little part of the world. We just, regardless, want to get these folks to where they can use a little bit of help. Yeah,
you can find more information on Callie's story in the website. In the meantime, when we talk about weather and checking in with Dr. Steve, we'll take all of these comfortably cool starts and a hot cup of coffee, as Johnny is doing right now.
Oh my goodness, y'all left me in here with the slurper.
I didn't know if he was snoring or slurping.
But look, guys, to your point, enjoy every bit of this weather right now, because as I mentioned, 9 News this morning, 1 week away from May, the really warm, hot days are right around the corner. Not bad today.
I think we go out on that note.